Hey, welcome again. Thanks for tuning in to another video of mine. I'm Joe Bushalaki, the program director and head coach of the face-to-face career program at the Dig Agency. We give fresh, exclusive leads to face-to-face agents in my program, and I do all the coaching. And here we are. We're going to do a review of Lincoln Heritage today. So Lincoln Heritage, I think a lot of us have heard of them. If you look at other policies of other clients, they're probably the most common policy that we see, or at least where I'm at in Northern California. I see a lot of Lincoln Heritage policies. They are maybe not technically a captive company, but I think that's kind of like their reputation is. I mean, they're just a one carrier, one product solution. So I think most of us know about that. But I would like to do a review, and then also I actually participated in an interview with one of their agencies, and I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and just get into it. Lincoln Heritage. They're based out of Arizona. They've been around for quite some time. I think maybe close to 100 years, but hey, let's get into it here. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So Lincoln Heritage, they're the actual insurance company, and then they have a bunch of agencies that do business for them. So the agency that I interviewed with was Tailored Legacy. Now, I just want to throw out there, when I did the interview, I've never done anything but the Dig Agency. I did it kind of more out of curiosity. I really was not planning on leaving. And I hear so much about a group, I kind of wanted to hear what they had to say. Now, was I absolutely against joining them? I guess not absolutely, but I think I pretty much had made my mind I wasn't going to do anything when I started talking with them, which was literally one phone call. So, but anyways, let's just jump into it. So we have Tailored Legacy. Tailored Legacy is owned by a gentleman named Adam Hale, who's out of Central California. So from where I'm at in Sacramento, he's only like, I don't know, like 3 hours south of where I'm at. They've been in business since 2008. I believe this is his brother right here, Caleb Hale, who's one of their sales managers. He's got a little bit of a story here. It looks like he was in the mortgage business, and he got out of that in 2008 or a little before, right around the housing bubble, when the housing bubble crashed. And so that's the owner right there. So let's see. Let's go to their field sales Q&A, because you know what you want to do. How do you find out about a company? Well, like David Duford has said, where's their pay structure at? You find their pay structure, you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. So I'm going to go to field sales Q&A. All right. What is final expense insurance? I think all of us that are joining this, if you know anything about final expense, we know we sell life insurance, whole life insurance to low income to low middle income seniors. How many carriers do we offer? Tailored Legacy Agency only represents one company, Lincoln Heritage. So yeah, there it is. So they are a one carrier company, and I'll talk a little bit more about my experience because they have a couple of niches when it comes to underwriting. Let's see. Looks like Adam's first month in the business, he sold 369 policies in the first 9 months. That's actually very impressive. $212,709 in new business. First year under 1.5. Looks like he grew quite a bit, and he's a fairly big agency. I'm going to get into the telesales part, but he has a sales manager in telesales named Dana Neeson, and she's fairly known. I mean, she's quite the YouTube influencer. So, you know, that mixed with the face-to-face sales, I know they're pretty big. Let's see. What experience do they require? Not a whole lot, which is cool. It's kind of the typical stuff: self-motivated, trainable, coachable, all that. So they're willing to give pretty much anybody a shot. Maybe not anybody, everybody, but A lot of people who are willing to try out. Let's see. Life insurance required for the position or a life license? Yes, of course. How do I obtain my life insurance license? They'll probably help out a little bit with that. Here we go. What can a top producing agent earn in the first 12 months and beyond? If you are someone that is willing to work 50 hours a week in the field selling, mimicking our sales training, and working 30 plus leads a week, you can make anywhere from 150 to 200,000 gross within the first year. I think that's possible. You know, I think that's a very realistic statement. You know what I really like about them? Unlike some of these groups that just want to act like all this is easy, they're telling you 50 hours a week, man. That's what it takes for success, not part-time, not whatever. I mean, part-time's fine if you're just messing around or just trying to make some side cash. 30 plus leads a week, absolutely. You're going to need at least 30, probably more. If you're busting out 50 hours a week, I mean, you're probably talking more like 40 or 50 leads a week. It just depends on your lead source. And grossing 150 to 200 in the first year. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you could write 15,000 to 20,000 a month, that's that's writing 180,000 to 240,000 in a year, and it's very doable to write more than 20,000 if you got all your stuff together and you're rocking and rolling. After you minus the lead costs and you minus the gas and all that stuff, which is pretty minuscule, excuse me. Yeah, 150, 200,000, you could do that. So let's see. He talks a little bit more about what he has done. And I think I will tell you, I think that's a lot of Adam's selling point, that he talks about a lot of his personal production and personal success. When I get into the interview that I did with him, he kind of made that a point, and which is cool. I mean, I think that's a big selling point for him. And, you know, he's putting up, you know, he's not just talking, he's putting up what he's done. Is this a network marketing or MLM pyramid scheme? No, this is not. It is not like a network marketing company. And I agree with that. Lincoln Heritage is not an MLM. They're definitely a train for the sale type of group. Is there any room for advancement, though? We are always looking for candidates with the right characteristics who want to move into management. And I think he's going to talk a little bit more about management in detail. But yeah, I would say Lincoln Heritage runs things in a similar fashion that we do, in the sense that we're training agents to sell. If you're going to be a manager, it's because you've put in the work and you're going to move up, like in any traditional company. So that's pretty cool. Here it even talks about what can make a manager. Well, generally, most second-year managers will make 200,000 to 300,000 based on the production. Our regional managers make 300,000 within 24 months. Top regional managers can earn $1 million plus. I don't know. You know, managing is like selling. You got to work on it, and it's a kind of a slow road to success, typically, and you get what you put into it. All right. Do we pay residual income? Our starting contracts pay residual income for 10 years. That's typical. Most insurance carriers will pay some sort of residual up to year 10. So how it usually works is the first year you get paid 12 months of the annualized premium if you are buying the leads. And from year 2 to year 10, usually get a small override. It's typically on the low end 3%, on the high end I've seen as much as 10%. Typically once you get past like year 2 or 3 and you're in year like 4, 5, 6, 7, the residuals start going down to 1%, 2%, stuff like that. But that's pretty typical. Let's see. What are most agents making in pay, residual plus as earned, after 1 year? Most Average writing producers will make $1,500 to $2,000 a month after just 12 months in the business, on top of their normal commissions. So let me break that down, in my opinion, what that means. So when you get a final expense deal, the traditional way that a carrier pays, they give you a 9-month advance. And then once the policy gets into month 10, 11, and 12, you get paid as earned. Okay. So if someone is paying $100 a month and you get the $900 advance, if you're getting 100% of the premium, that's a 9-month advance, $900. Month 10, you get the $100 when they pay. Month 11, you get the $100 when they pay. And month 12, and then after that, you get a small override. Like I said, 3, 4, 5%, sometimes a little bit higher. 7%, 8%. I've seen as high as 10% with some carriers. But what they're referring to is that once you get past month 12, now every month you're getting these policies that are in month 10, 11, and 12 rolling in, and you're seeing this type of money. I just have to tell you, this is my personal professional opinion. I don't get too excited about that money. I will tell you, depending on how you have it all worked out, your month 10, 11, and 12, that's money that you need to be giving to Uncle Sam for taxes. I mean, it's 25% of what you're making, and there's ways to write off stuff. We write off gas and all this other stuff. But for me, the back end money is tax money. But I mean, it is true. It will get deposited to your account, and you can have this type of money, $1,500, $2,000 getting deposited into your account for work that you did, a year before. That does happen. Okay. Let's see. Let me read this. How nice it would be starting with a monthly check every month based on the policies you've already sold. Yeah, so he's talking about that. My pay through is nearly $160,000 a month in under 6 years in the business. Well, I think he's talking about overrides as a whole, being the owner of the agency. Maybe not. I don't know. But in 6 years for the average agent, you're not going to have 160 grand just coming in. I mean, that's like Medicare money. So, but I think he's talking about like as a whole, which is cool, man. I mean, the dude's obviously put in a lot of work. How many hours will you spend out in the field? See, what I really like about the stuff that they're saying the real. You can work as many or as few hours as you like, but to become a top producer, we recommend 50 hours a week, man. I love you're talking my language when you're talking like this, what it really takes. How many leads do you receive? Most agents take 15 to 25 fresh leads, local exclusive leads a week. Our top producers consistently work 35 plus leads. Exactly. Yeah, you're going to need 35 plus, 35, 40, 50 leads to really get things rocking and rolling. I think the 15 to 25 is probably when you first start out, you get your feet wet, you know what I mean? Or if you're a part-timer, something like that. Okay, what is the average closing ratio? Let's see. Different territories, agents, and leads have different ratios. Our agency averages 30 policies written for every 100 leads taken. But this is because we work referrals and sometimes write up multiple policies in one household. If you are closing less than 25%, you are doing something wrong. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. I mean, you take into account the referrals and all that. That's fine. And you write multiple policies. You can sustain yourself in this business, depending on your case size and a few other things, how easy it is for you to get in the door. I would say your closing ratio needs to be somewhere between 15% on the low end to 25%. What's that equate to? For all the leads that you get, you're selling a deal 1 out of every 4 to 6 leads that you touch. I don't agree with that statement that if you're doing less than 25, if you're doing 20%, you're doing well in this business. And across the board, on average, agents are selling 1 out of 3. I don't think so. I don't think that's true. Okay. How does your training work? We do agency and product knowledge through our online site, which should only take a few days. Then we will conduct a local field training. Then we will conduct local field training with you with one of our top producing managers. You will then role play and go through the objections to make sure you are ready. Once you have mastered the scripts, we'll sign the leads and let you hit the field. But you'll be expected to close a minimum of 20 to 30% before you receive more leads. If you are struggling, we'll put you back in the car and help you rework your leads. So they do some video training. Looks like you go out with a producing agent or manager and you do a ride along. If you don't close 1 out of 4 to 1 out of almost basically between 1 out of 4 to 1 out of 3 of your leads, you don't receive more leads. I don't know if that's a free lead program. I don't think they do a free lead program because I'm going to show you some more stuff here in a minute. But yeah, I think I don't think you necessarily need to close 25 to 30% of your leads. And I will dare to say, I'm sure there's someone from Lincoln Heritage who will tell me that absolutely they're all doing that. But my experience in the business, that's pretty high. If you can get somewhere between 20 to 25%, well, this is my thing. If you can sell between 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 6 of your leads, then you're doing pretty good. And if you can get to 1 out of every 4, which is a 25% closing ratio, then that's really good. So I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen an agent that can write 1 out of 3 leads, 30%, 33% or 30%. But anyways, we'll keep moving forward. Do I have to sell my friends and family? No, they are a leads-based group, just like we are at the Dig Agency, so you don't have to do that. Okay. This is the biggest gripe with Lincoln Heritage. Well, one of them. What is the typical starting contract? We typically start agents off at an 80% contract with the opportunity to go as high as 115 based on production. 80% is low. I want everyone to know, hear me out. I don't care where you go. Lincoln Heritage, us, any other agency out there. If you are buying your own leads, if you're funding your own game, at minimum, you need to be receiving 100% of the contract, okay? 100%. You need to be getting the first 12 months of monthly premiums paid by the client, deposited to your bank account by the carrier, okay? With us, if you're buying leads, you get 100%. But there's agencies out there that'll start you off at 110 or 120. Now, if you start out at 110 or 120, don't expect a lot of training. I would suspect, based on what I've seen already, you're probably getting quite the training. You're definitely not going to be left to go swim in the deep end on your own with Lincoln Heritage, the way that they're talking here. But 80%, if you're buying your own leads, that's too low, man. That's not enough. What is required to get a higher contract percentage? Production. That's cool. Right on. And I don't know, maybe, I mean, what do I got to write? I mean, if I only have to write a small amount, like what, just to prove myself, do I got to write just like 10,000 or something and then you'll bump me up real quick? But I don't know, starting off at 80, like agents need to make money. And if they're buying their own leads, that's just not a lot. Let's see. Why are our leads so good? Lincoln Heritage walks the fine line of obtaining the best quality lead for the cheapest price. They are obtained through our television commercials, our direct mail program, digital advertising, and preset appointments. Most leads are within a few days to at most 2 weeks old and have not been worked by any other agent. If the leads get beyond 45 days old, we actually give them at a discounted price. They do age leads. So they sell age leads after 45 days. Okay. We order you leads in your zip codes you would like to work. You must be willing to work within 45 to 60 minutes. I'd say that's a big minimum. I will dare to say, as a face-to-face agent, guys, if you want to make a 6-figure income year-round, year after year, you're going to have to submit to a 2-hour driving radius from your house. I think that's real. 45 to 60 year round, you're gonna have to expand your territory. Do they make any money off of leads? No. Lincoln Heritage has lost millions over the years because they are consistently testing new pieces. And he talks about how he's personally lost over $100,000 a year just counting leads. That's fine. What is the average monthly payment for our clients? $58 a month is most common. I think it's pretty fair, especially if you're working direct mail leads. In 2024, direct mail clients, they tend to spend less than like a Facebook lead. So yeah, and they can go as low as $15 a month. Yeah, for sure, man. If they're not, if they're in their 50s or lower mid 60s, good health, and they want like, a couple $1,000 policy. What type of life insurance is it? It's whole life. Let's see what else we got. How can you make 200,000 to 2 million a year from $57 a month of policies? Volume, that's right. Let's see. How much do leads cost? Let's go right here. Leads cost can vary by state and the type of lead. Television, direct mail, The average cost is between $18 to $47. So yeah, I hope you're buying fresh exclusive leads for that. I mean, a Facebook lead is going to cost a fresh Facebook lead, a fresh one where someone, a prospect fills out the form and hits the submit button, and then it goes directly to your email and you get a text message. Those are going to be anywhere between 25 to 40 bucks a month. Direct mail nowadays, 40 to 50 a month. An $18 lead, and you're doing face-to-face work, that's probably an age lead, or it's a really cheap Facebook lead. Here you go. Look, ask about our new 50% contract with free leads, up to 50 of the exact same leads per week. Okay, so clearly they have a paid lead system where you're getting paid 80%. I'm sorry, where you pay leads, you get 80% of the annualized premium, and you're paying these type of prices for leads. I'm just saying, I think that's probably going to be the biggest hiccup I have with Lincoln Heritage, because I think there's good things to say about this group. I think they probably have phenomenal training, I think they put a lot into it, And I'm going to be showing some profiles of their sales managers, which clearly shows they have people with street cred. But it's 80%, man. I mean, it would just be a hard sell for me. That's just, they can talk about bonus programs or whatever, but I got to buy the leads and you're giving me 80%. I stand on it, everybody that's looking right now. If you're buying your own leads, 100% of the annualized premium minimum, okay? Because there's plenty of independent agencies that ain't going to train you nothing. They're going to give you nothing but a couple of videos and a script, and they're ready to pay you 110% or 120% of the annualized premium. So that's not going to work. Okay, lead financing. Lead financing simply means we give you leads, no upfront cost to you. After you sell a policy, we will withhold a percentage of your commission if you owe lead costs. If you don't owe money, we don't take anything. We don't have any finance charges. So that's cool. I mean, they basically will loan you the money for a lead budget. I think that's cool. It'd be nicer if they paid you 100% of the annualized premium or more. But I mean, at least, what I can say is that just like us, they're giving the opportunity for someone who has drive and wants to sell. They are giving you an opportunity to get into the game. So I ain't knocking them on that. Do we have chargebacks? Yes, all insurance companies have chargebacks if the client cancels within the first year. But we finance, we finance the charges. For example, if you owe $1,000 in chargebacks, we won't hold all your commission until it's paid, like most companies do. We just withhold a small percentage so you can make money. Okay, so you can have a debit balance. You can owe chargebacks with Lincoln Heritage, and they're not going to just take all the money. Yeah, because hey, there's agents who fail out of this business because they have so many chargebacks and they can't make a dollar. It happens to a lot of businesses outside of insurance. So I think that's actually kind of cool. I wish more carriers would do that, is not just take away all of your money if you owe a big amount. Okay, how many policies cancel within the first year? Every company is going to have cancellations, and most say you're doing well if you can retain a 70% of your first year business. No, you're not. If you have a 70% persistency rate and 30% of your business is canceling on a regular basis, that's not that good. We need to be getting up to 80. That's more of like a good average. 70% means there's something that you can be doing. Maybe you can make sure you're not hard selling people to, and they're just canceling, or definitely as far as their budget, you need to be sensitive to it and not have them overspend. Lincoln Heritage national average is 80%. I'm going to park here real quick and talk about that. Now, do I have their numbers? No. But I bet you that they across the board do not have an 80% persistency rate. Hey, maybe Joe Bushalaki is wrong, but I will tell you that is one of the drawbacks with Lincoln Heritage is that they sell policies that are not competitively priced like a lot of these independent insurance carriers. I'm going to tell you, if I go into a house and I see a Lincoln Heritage policy that is less than 2 years old, I a lot of times start salivating at the mouth. Now, this is a story for another day, talking about ethics and stuff. I don't replace policies that are outside of their 2-year contestability period. Is it illegal to replace someone outside of their two-year policy? No, just as long as you do like the replacement paperwork. But for me, ethically, if they're out of their 2-year contestability, I don't replace them. And so I come across Lincoln Heritage policies that might be in their 3rd or even 4th year. And I could save money, but I don't do it. I walk away from it. But when I see those policies and they're less than 2 years old, I outbeat them. I mean, I replace those policies day and night. And I'm sure a lot of us independent agents do, and probably quite a few of you who are watching this video do that as well. So that brings me to wonder, do they really have an 80% persistency rate? And then the other thing too is that because they only deal with one product, a lot of times they have to go graded or modified and have a 2-year waiting period on their policies. Not 2-year technically, but it just goes graded or modified where it's not first day 100% immediate coverage. And a lot of times I can go in there and not only save money, obviously, but I can get them first day coverage. So I would be leery of that, folks. If you talk to Lincoln Heritage and they're telling you that their persistency rate is like 80%, or I don't know if they say it's higher or not. I'll talk about my interview that I did. And here's the other thing. They talk about their the attachment they do to their policies, the Guardian plan, or Funeral Advantage plan, I think it's called, something like that. And they try to hang their hat that's the reason why people will pay a higher price and they will not go with another company because they have the Funeral Advantage plan. But I will tell you, just through experience, walking into these final expense prospects houses, they ain't tripping off that thing. Money talks, especially with low income clients, man. It is what it is. I mean, hey, I was born in this world. I didn't make it, man. So yeah, the money talks. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I think it's very debatable that across the board, they have 80% persistency rates. So let's keep talking here. I'm going to share my screen again. But they have a couple of underwriting niches that I'll talk about. All right, so let's keep going. Are they captive? No, but we want to protect our leads and our lead system. We don't spend the amount of money we do to generate quality leads only to give them away to other insurance companies. And that's fair. I mean, besides even the lead part, if they're training you, we're like that at the dig agency. We're not a captive company, but we don't want to train you. And then you're just giving other final expense business to other agencies. We'll tell you that you're not a good fit for us. We're not a good fit for you. If you want to be an independent agent that's contracted with multiple agencies, don't do it with the dig agency. Don't do it with Tailored Legacy of Lincoln Heritage. Yeah, I mean, I think that's that is a good way to find out if you're really going to get training. If an agency says, hey, we only want you to sell your final expense business and put it with us and not with any other agencies, that usually means that they are doing good training. If an agency says, hey, you can do whatever you want, you can put a policy with us or put a policy with anybody else, they really don't have a big stake in the training or anything. They just are happy that they can run the paperwork, your paperwork for policies through them to the carrier and get paid something. So yeah, that's a good tall tale, whether there's some good training or not. Let's see, average day. What does an agent's average day look like? Our agents field work 15 to 30. I'm sorry, our agents, sorry for the messed up English, guys. Our agents are out in the field working 15 to 30 fresh leads a week. That's part-time to full-time, I guess. I mean, they already said to rock and roll, you need to do 35 plus. It is recommended that you start in the field by 9 a.m. and that you're do a solid day's work until your goal is met. Absolutely, man. Amen to that. So I don't have any qualms with anything they're saying. I'm not into age leads. I wouldn't want someone to tell me to buy age leads and then I'm supposed to be making money. Like at the Dig Agency, we're all about fresh exclusive leads, man. In my program, I'm all about fresh exclusive leads. So I'm not really into age leads. So the whole thing about leads that are like 45 days or older, forget those leads. I think the only issue I have with anything here, because I like a lot of the stuff they're saying, and I get the impression that they put some time and effort into their agents and they don't just leave them out in the wilderness to figure it out. Just the 80%, man. I just can't. 80% AP and I'm buying leads. I don't think that's a lot. And the 80% persistency rate with only 20% chargebacks, I think it's very debatable just based on my own personal experience out in the field. All right, let's go to the telesales part here. All right, so that is Dana Neeson. Hey, I will tell you, everybody, you know, all subjects aside, Dana Neeson, training manager, sales manager in the industry, this is the real deal Holyfield, man. I can tell just by looking at her videos. Like I just, you know, once you've been in a business for long enough or just been in business period, you can tell when you see a moneymaker or where someone is like the real deal. And Dana Neeson is the real deal, man. I'm sure Adam Hale is too. I'm just saying she's got a lot of videos on YouTube, and I think that it could be a great thing to be trained under her for telesales. She does telesales stuff. So definitely this agency has one of the top trainers in the industry. So that's really cool. But moving forward, let's see. She definitely has street cred. You can look at all that right there. How many hours are required per week for their telesales program? Looking for agents that can commit to at least 40 or more per week. Cool. What should an average agent producer earn in their first 30 days? 3,000 to 6,000 minimum, with top sales producers earning 2 to 3 times that amount. Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. I think that is a very reasonable statement. So I like what I see so far. Am I a good fit? Typical stuff, coachability, you know, great attitude, stuff like that. Where must I live to be able to take advantage of the opportunity? Certain states. So one thing about Lincoln Heritage, and by the way, I say this in every video, guys. If anyone from Lincoln Heritage is seeing this, if I'm saying something that's like that's totally inaccurate or something, put it in the comments. I'm just looking at a website. I did an interview with Adam Hale one time, and maybe everything I'm saying is not all the way true, but I'm pretty sure that with Lincoln Heritage, they kind of divvy up the territories throughout the states. And I think that's why you have to live in one of these states. If you live in a state outside of these states right here, I think you have to work with one of their other agencies. And I'm actually going to do a smaller review on their agency, UBI, Universal Benefits, which is another Lincoln Heritage agency. But that, and I don't know how they do it on a local level. I think that they try to ensure that agents aren't just overlapping over each other like field agents aren't. Telesales is a little different. Everyone can kind of just call the same stuff because you're calling all the states. Looks like there's a couple of places in Texas and Florida that Taylor Legacy has a stake in. Yeah, because right here, look, our carrier has protected territories based on your residence address that we must adhere to. So yeah, they divvy up. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think one thing about final expense is that one of the benefits is that there are just so many leads out there that all of us should not have to pay attention too much to territories. But I mean, if it's not too strict, I respect that. That's cool. When can you work? You can work any hours of your choosing. Just make sure you're working full time, obviously. Is there a guarantee? Our weekly bonus guarantee is based on talk time. So this is pretty cool. As far as I know, at the Dig Agency, the telesales agents aren't getting paid for this. Telesales daily bonus program requires PayPal to be, so they pay daily. You just got to have a PayPal account. 5 hours of talk time, you get $50 guaranteed bonus per day. 6 hours, $100. 7 hours, 150. 8 hours. So I wonder if talk time means you actually logged on to the CRM and it's the accumulation of the conversations you're having plus the phone just ringing in your ear, wait for someone to pick up, or is that actual talk time when someone answers and that's when the clock starts running? Either way, I think it's pretty cool that they're willing to pay someone even if they're having an off day. And I would suspect that they are paying the amount of talk time or your sales, whichever is higher. I don't know if they add it all together. Maybe they do. But you know what? At the end of the day, hey, that's cool, man. They're willing to give a guarantee. They're willing to pay something, even if you don't bust out a sale. 40% agent in training incentive program, 30 to 45 agent in takeoff. So, okay, so when you start off, you get 40% of the annualized premium, 45% the second level, and 50% the third level after you've written 40,000. So that tells me this must be a free lead program. Yeah, the telesales agents, I don't think they're buying leads with Tailored Legacy. I think that you just are part of the free lead program in telesales as opposed to the field agents. So, all right, let's see what else we got. They got AP bonuses, it looks like. You write 15 grand, you get an extra 500, 10 grand, an extra 375. And all of these bonuses are on top of your whatever your AP percentage is. And they have monthly bonuses. That's cool. I mean, that can add up. You produce, you make money. What is the average payment the client is paying? Client average payment is $80 a month. I would say that that's realistic. For whatever reason, telesales deals end up being higher than face-to-face deals a lot of times. Not all the time, but to say it's 80%, I think that there could be some truth to that. $70, $80 a month. That's realistic. Okay, let's see. So when are you paid? Weekly bonuses paid every Monday. Commissions are paid daily. So as soon as a policy is issued, if it was before 3 p.m. Arizona time, then you get paid the next day. Pretty cool. Is there a max advance? The max advance, $800. I wish it was more than that. Some carriers we use have a cap on advances. Lincoln Heritage, you can only get paid as much as $800 per policy. The remaining commission will be paid as earned over the next 12 months to ensure large chargebacks do not hurt the agent. Yeah. Oh, look, because dig this. See, this is what I'm saying about the whole chargeback thing that I was talking about. Policies over $100 a month typically have a much larger chance of lapsing. So why is that? That's because Lincoln Heritage charges a higher dollar for their policies than other companies. And so if someone's paying $100-something a month and one of us independent agents walks in, there's a good chance we're going to save a good amount of money, 20, 30, 40 bucks a month, maybe even more, man. Because through my experience, the prospects who pay more per month, they end up having less risk of canceling. It's people that are paying 15, 20, 25 bucks a month. Those people cancel because they wake up one day after a few months. They're like, I don't really care about this stuff. It's freaking $20 that I could probably need. Somebody who only wants to pay $20 a month for their life insurance, they're probably in a limited budget anyways, like a really limited one. And someone who's paying 150 bucks a month, those deals stay on the books. But I think it's more of a problem for Lincoln Heritage than us independent agents, because if it's a big dollar amount, there's a really good chance an independent agent's going to slide in and be able to save enough money where the client's like, yeah, I'm ready to switch right now. Money talks, man. I mean, it's low income people, man. It is what it is. What is our retention? Tailored legacy retention ranges typically from 83 to 85%. And I already talked to you about I think it's very debatable, man. I'm not going to keep hammering that point. I just think it's debatable. Can I cross-sell or sell other products? If that's your intention, it's not the right opportunity. This is one thing that made me curious about Lincoln Heritage. Like, I think there's a lot of power in just one product, just everyone's in like the same order, everyone's looking in the same direction. I think there's a lot of organization that can happen with that. So that's one. I know we talked down on one carrier. It's like a one size fits all product, but I think as a whole, as an organization, as a group, I think there's a lot of benefits to that. So not necessarily knocking that. Can I have other final expense carriers? No. So they don't want you to contract with other companies. And you know what? Like I said, I think that tells a lot about an agency, that if they're saying no, you're not going to contract with other agencies, that's because they are willing to invest in you as an agent. So I think that's for any group that you're looking for. If they're talking like this is a good thing. They want to invest in you. Do you require upfront costs? The CRM's $250. That's normal stuff. Let's see. How does training work? Telesales side. Once you submit your contract, you'll receive your online training, about 4 hours of total training. It includes our product company information, sales presentation, objections, and how to complete our e-application. So you get online training. Then you will schedule a role play with our sales manager. It will be up to you to prepare for the role play. Okay, how soon can I start? Once you sign your contract, our goal is to get you paid within 7 days or sooner. So I think I heard this on a video when Dana Neeson was interviewing someone, but I would suspect, and maybe I'm wrong, I think that based on the amount of training they're giving up front, which it doesn't seem like a whole lot. I mean, but here's the thing about training too, everybody. You need to point the finger at yourself, and you need to invest in ongoing training and do the training. Even if it's not doing all these one-on-ones with the sales manager, you do need to point your finger at yourself to some degree. And if someone is willing to work hard and put in the work and put in the time and the energy, then yeah, it's up to the agency to nurture individuals like that. But it looks like maybe up front there's limited training going on. And so that makes me think that they probably start you off with age leads because it's kind of a risk, and probably they probably do pretty well. I would hope that they do, is once they see that you're an earner and they start giving you fresh leads, that you have an ongoing partnership with your trainer over there. So those are just my thoughts on that. Who are we selling? Yeah, final expense people. Who's the IMO? It's Golden Memorial Umbrella. I think that's maybe the group that's over Lincoln Heritage. That's stuff that don't matter. Are there any benefits? If you sell $30,000 per quarter, you can qualify for Lincoln Heritage health and dental benefits. Oh, cool. They got a health plan. You sell 30 grand in a quarter, which ain't that much. 10 grand a month, 10,000 AP a month. That ain't nothing. If you're doing that full time, you're going to need to write more than that to make money. But that's cool. They give you a health plan. Look, oh yeah, leads are free for all telesales agents. There, boom, there it is. And they have their different ways of generating leads. direct mail, web, and TV advertising in 17 states and generate 6 to 10 live transfers per agent per day. You know, I do want to say, if an agency is giving you the leads, if it's from multiple, like, if it's from multiple areas, diversifying on leads, that's all fine. I do wonder, though, how much of a hierarchy there is, or like, you know, as far as divvying out the leads, the good ones and the okay ones and the bad ones, it probably comes down to production. I'm not necessarily against that, but when I look at stuff like this, there's a gray area that I wonder about, as far as, can I expect the same type of leads all the time if my production is consistent? I hope the answer is yes, but like, okay, I'm just going to compare. So with the Dig agency, we use one specific lead type in each program. It's just a straight shot. This is how we get down. You know what I mean? We don't have like all these multiple streams of leads, which I'm not saying is a bad thing per se, as far as just generating good leads, but I just wonder if I'm in the pit with all of the other telesales agents, in this case, how it goes about divvying up the leads. So I would hope it's divvied up. Like, I know this, and I think all of us in the entire world, we want to wake up every day and expect the same thing. We don't want to be thrown for curveballs. We just want to know that we're going to wake up, if we're willing to put in a hard day's work, that we can expect to get like the same type of leads, and to be able to just rinse and repeat, and not have like a roller coaster of different leads, and if they're age or a few days old, fresh from like yesterday, I don't know. So I just wonder about that. But those are good questions to ask. You know, how does it work as far as divvying up the leads? And I'm sure that I would think the answer will be based on production, and I mean that's rightly so as well. So just some good stuff to think about. Can I build a team? We are always looking for leaders that can lead by example. You must build up your monthly as earned to at least 2,500 per month, and consistently write 20 to 30,000 a month in annualized premium. You also need to be here at least 8 months. Okay, so if you get your as earned, the month 10, 11, and 12 up to 2,500, if you can, excuse me, if you can consistently write 20 to 30,000 in annualized premium for at least 8 months, then you can get promoted to manager. Right on. All right. So another thing I want to show is their team. So you know what I like about their team, everybody? All these sales managers, man, I can dig it that they throw up their street cred right here. Look, you could tell these guys got street cred, man. These guys know how to produce. And I think that is awesome. The problem with all the MLM companies that have so-called uplines and managers, man, you don't even know who's got street cred or who just started the month before. But clearly at Tailored Legacy of Lincoln Heritage, these people right here, if you're under one of these individuals, you're dealing with someone who knows the business. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, I want to get into the interview that I did. So this gentleman, Adam Hale, we did a phone interview. I applied, and like I said, I mean, just to keep it real, I really wasn't planning on joining them. I wanted to know about them. I was kind of curious to see how like an interview would go with them. So I did it. Now I will say, you know what I think one thing that's really cool, even though this is a pretty big agency, Adam Hale, the owner of the agency, spent the time and talked to me for like 30, 40 minutes, man. I thought that was really cool. He did start showing me up front, like the money he's made before. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's your selling point. I asked some good questions. I told him about my previous production. He did tell me, just based on me having a bit of a track record, if my track record was what I said it was, which wasn't a whole lot, we're talking 15 to 20,000 a month on a consistent basis. That's not, I mean, that's okay, but he was willing to put me at 85% of the contract if I signed up with him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he gave me 85%, but 85% is, that's like, I'm not like impressed with that. I will say this though, from a training standpoint, 85% of something is better than 120% of nothing. What do I mean by that? If I'm going to get trained and shown how to do this business and you're going to pay me 85%, that's better than getting 120% and I don't know what I'm doing and you don't show me how to do nothing. That's 120% of nothing. You know what I mean? So that's the thing also that I don't want to just, kill off the whole 85% thing or 80%. But I still think that's pretty low. But he was willing to give me 5% more if I joined. That was cool. We talked about persistency rate. He talked about how their funeral guardian program, which basically, in a nutshell, I'm going to go into it here in a little bit, but like when somebody dies, Lincoln Heritage has their funeral advantage plan set up. Or I'm sorry, it's either called the Guardian Plan or the Funeral Advantage Plan, something like that. But they have a group that will, I think, shop the funeral homes for you, and they'll do a lot of the legwork. And here's the thing, Lincoln Heritage agents will act like that is the reason why people won't cancel. But I have never replaced a Lincoln Heritage policy or attempted to do one where someone said, you know what? No, even though you can save me money, Joe, I have this plan with Lincoln Heritage where they're going to do all this legwork for me when I die and make it easier on my family. And that's the reason I'm going to pay more for the rest of my life. I mean, it just don't work. It just don't happen like that, guys. And maybe Adam knows how to sell it really well, but for the average Lincoln Heritage agent, they're obviously not, man, because we replace those things day and night, dude. But hey, I'm just going to lecture you real quick. You should not replace policies that are out of their 2-year contestability period. I don't care what you guys are how much you can save them. That's my personal, professional, ethical opinion. Now, the Department of Insurance will let you do it in your states. Most of them, I believe. Check with your local Department of Insurance, but you shouldn't do that, man. If someone's out of their 2-year contestability, don't just save them a couple of bucks to be back into a 2-year contestability, man. You shouldn't do that. That's just my piece. Okay. But yeah, I mean, he definitely is knowledgeable, and I didn't want to go further. He wanted to do like another interview where one of his sales managers was going to meet me and have some coffee, but I didn't want to waste their time because I really wasn't planning on getting with them in the first place. I try to be a little open-minded just for the sake, out of respect of hearing what he had to say. But you know what? Here's another plus for these guys. They're willing to take the time to talk to you. He talks to me over the phone. The owner of the agency talked to me for like 30, 40 minutes. Okay. Then he's willing to have one of his sales managers drive from where they're at, which was at least a couple hours away. They're out down there in like Modesto, Merced, Fresno area, somewhere down there. I think they're from Chowchilla in that area down in Central California. And they were willing to come up to Sacramento, one of his guys, and talk to me, man. I appreciate stuff like that, man. That's old school mentorship stuff, So I definitely will say, if you are looking to get training, then Lincoln Heritage will give you training. I don't know how good it is. But I know they ain't going to leave you hanging based on the way they talk. So I think that's pretty cool, man. So yeah, I mean, it was an okay interview. So let's just keep going forward. Yeah, I mean, we talked for it was a while ago. But I felt like they really would invest in me. I think that they try to act like the chargebacks aren't a big deal with them, but I think when you're in the trenches with them, chargebacks are real with these guys. I mean, that's just, I can only go by because I've replaced these deals left and right when I see them. Okay, Let me share my screen again. Let's go to, there's another group out there that's fairly big, UBI, Universal Benefits. Their product is Lincoln Heritage. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this group. But I will tell you, through all of the interviews and people that come our way at the Dig Agency, it seems like Tailored Legacy and UBI are the most common Lincoln Heritage agencies that people come from. And you know what? Right here is where we got a lot of good stuff of what they're all about. So I went to their product. I think regardless of where you go, I think this sidebar right here is on all of these. And that gives a lot of insight on what UBI is about. Sorry, guys, my internet's running a little bit slow here. Yeah, this all stays the same. Let's actually look at this. Let's go over this right here. Top agents, $100 to $1 million annually, $100,000 to $1 million annually. Our goal is to enroll 10 to 20 families per week. That sounds good. I can dig it. High commission contracts, up to 75% advances. That's just normal stuff. Thousands of exclusive, fresh, hot leads in your area, direct mail, inserts, cable TV, all that good stuff. Lincoln Heritage is the largest provider of agent-produced final expense. They probably are. Exclusive partnership. Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. That's what it's called. The Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, to help families save money on their funeral costs. That's what they hang their hat on. That's why their persistency rate is high, and they can defend why their policies aren't as competitively priced as some of these independent carriers. 40% of your leads should be converted to sales. This means tens of thousands of dollars. What? 40%? That's even more than 1 out of 3. Are you talking about like between 1 out of 3 and 1 out of 2 of your leads you're converting to a deal? I'm sure there's someone over in that organization that will tell me, yes, that's what's going on. But I think in the real deal is on the low end 15%, on the high end 25%. If you're selling numbers like that, more power to you. But to act like that's going to be the thing across the board, I don't go for that. Not everyone is going to be an eagle that can soar. Not everyone's a superstar. What about people that want to put in the work and just be solid players and want to make a living? I just don't think the average is 40. I think this is like the top person is doing stuff like that. Well, let's see what else we got. Plans are 0 to 85. Yes, Lincoln Heritage does 0 to 85. They got group and dental benefits. Let's see what else they got. All right, that's all that right there. Let's see what we got here. Their products, Lincoln Heritage. Their training. Let's see what their training says. Okay. I'm not going to watch this video. You guys can watch it. I watched some of this. It seemed like a lot of testimonials, but I went through it really quick. So I don't know. Leads. I would suspect that UBI and Tailored Legacy have quite a bit in common because you're under Lincoln Heritage, and it's kind of like a corporation if you're incorporated. And I'm not saying they are. I'm just using the term very loosely. When you're like incorporated, you kind of have to do the same thing in your system as everybody else under Lincoln Heritage. Direct mail leads, Funeral Advantage, exclusive TV leads. I bet you those are actually pretty good. Direct mail, duplicate lead prevention. If you get a lead, the same lead if you get the same prospect to fill out a card within 60 days, they probably replaced it. That's cool. Let's see. Let's go to the Q&A. Maybe we'll get something. How much money can I make? Because your income is only limited by how much you work. Okay. because your income is only limited by how much work you are willing to put in and how persistent you are, there is not a hard average number. Okay. What is the company average monthly policy? 45 to 50 a month? Seems kind of low, but I don't know. I think that maybe this group is somewhere in the southern United States. It's not like living in California or somewhere else where the cost of living is so high. So I don't know. Do I have to pay for company materials? All materials, brochures, folders, applications, and training are free. How long does it take to get paid? We offer same-day advances for business submitted within premium or with premium. Oh, you know what? That's something else too. I wonder if Lincoln Heritage, they pay on draft, I think. So it's July 5th, 2024 right now of when I did this video. If you sign up somebody and the first draft is going to be on August 1st of 2024, almost in a month, you probably don't get paid for a month. And, I've actually heard Lincoln Heritage agents say that they get trained to take the premium the same day. That is chargeback city, folks. You better be making sure the draft hits when they get paid their Social Security or disability on the 1st, the 3rd, whatever specific Wednesday. Don't be drafting someone on the 10th of the month and they get paid every first, man. You're looking for a chargeback for that. They ain't holding on their money like that. They also do lead financing like Tailored Legacy. There's room for advancement. You can get into management. Yeah. I don't think they do telesales over there. It didn't look like it, but maybe UBI does. I think that's cool, man. I'm a face-to-face guy. I like agencies that do face-to-face work. But it looks like a lot of I think whatever agency you go to with Lincoln Heritage, you're going to get somewhat of a similar type of system going on. They finance leads. They have different types of leads they do. I think all of them, the commission schedule's around 80%. And I would suspect, here's the thing about Lincoln Heritage, is that regardless of what anybody thinks about them, I think they invest in training and that their sales managers spend time with people. That's what it looks like. That's the impression I got when I did my interview with Adam Hale at Tailored Legacy. So that's the thing. You got to be trained. Let's throw out commission and product and all that stuff. If we can't be trained, then we ain't got nothing. This business is hard, man. Okay, I want to look at their Guardian Society program because that's the thing that they all hang their hat on. That is the big ta-da. So let me share my screen again. This is their consumer website. What is Funeral Advantage? I think Funeral Advantage is like their actual final expense plan. Yeah, that's their final expense plan. Let's see. I want to find okay, here it is. The Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. When a policyholder passes away, we want to make sure things go smoothly and easily for loved ones taking care of the funeral arrangements. On your behalf, the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society it immediately goes into action to help serving loved ones in charge of funeral arrangements cope with the many details that immediately arise. Okay, when you enroll, you get a 2-page final wish booklet. If you turn that into the Funeral Guardian Society, they keep that secure in a file for you. Your loved ones get a 24-hour toll-free service number to call in time of need. The Funeral Consumer Guardian Society immediately goes into action, comparing up to 3 different funeral homes to find the best price available. Families save an average of $1,850 on traditional burials and up to $1,100 on cremations. The FCGS is not affiliated with any religion, funeral home, cemetery, or any particular funeral approach. There is never any obligation or pressure to buy anything from anyone. So they don't do a price lock. if you're going to get prices locked in with a funeral home, you have to do a pre-need plan, and you have to do what's called an FSA. The insurance company does an FSA, which is a funeral service agreement with the funeral home to lock a price in. So it sounds like the Guardian Society plan, they will do the phone calls, get everything going. And that's kind of cool. I mean, you're emotionally upset over a family member passing away, da 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 da. And so they'll do that. I mean, that's a nice little service. They'll shop around funeral homes. I mean, that's cool. I mean, funeral homes are like buying a car. You know, they'll take you for what you can get a lot of times through my experience. Not to say that, you know, they don't have a heart and they want to work with people, but yeah, it's just like a car, like it's negotiable. So it sounds like they'll do a little shopping around for you. I mean, that's all fine and dandy. That's a nice sizzle to the steak. But guys, I will just tell you, like it was saying that they'll save you an average of $1,850 on traditional burial. Well, if you're willing to pay the same amount per month with me as opposed to with Lincoln Heritage, I'll get you a death benefit that's $1,850 more. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That doesn't impress me. The product, it's a one size fits all product. That's the thing with Lincoln Heritage agents. They only got one thing. If the underwriting is not matching up for level coverage with them, it's going to go to graded or modified. Now, I will tell you, there's a couple of cool things that I know about Lincoln Heritage product. One, level coverage for diabetic neuropathy. That is very good because there ain't a lot of companies out there that do that. And another, they give level coverage for people who take refills of nitroglycerin. That is pretty cool, man. I don't know a lot of their underwriting niches. I know they take Direct Express cards, not just local bank accounts, if that's something to, you know, celebrate. I don't know if it is or not. That's another story for another day. But I know that they take diabetic neuropathy. They take fills of nitroglycerin. I don't know if you have to have nitroglycerin fills for a certain amount of time, like 2 years or more. So then it's considered maintenance medication. So yeah, so they have a couple of nice underwriting niches on stuff like that. I think they take chronic asthma, so that's cool. Someone can get inhaler, just as long as it's not COPD or emphysema. If they're getting inhalers on a monthly basis, then you're good. Let's see. That's I think that's pretty much it. You know, in short, I don't like their commissions for buying leads. Their commissions for free lead telesales, that looks pretty good. I think based on the interview I did with them and based on what I see, that they absolutely give training. And I think there's a positive to say about just having one product, one insurance company, and everyone's just all in on one thing. I think there's a lot of opportunity for organization and not everyone to be scattered with stuff like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, just if you're going to interview with these organizations, you need to ask them about what the commissions are going to be. Ask them about training. Like David Duford said, ask for a couple of referrals of people that are inside the organization. See what they have to say. And know this, there is always going to be a correlation between how much an organization pays you and how much training. Less of a commission percentage, good chance there's going to be more training. Higher commission percentage from the jump, less training. So anyways, if you want to be a part of the Dig Agency's face-to-face career program and get trained by yours truly, we will give you fresh, exclusive leads. I will do one-on-one training with you. I will partner up with you, and we will walk through the pathway to success for you. Then go to davidduford.com. That's davidduford.com. Click the apply button. And when you do the application, you click, I want to do face-to-face sales, and I want free leads. And if you're not ready to apply yet, you can join one of our group Q&As and get some questions answered. But hey, other than that, God bless you all. It was fun.